my sister was an artist before I was. She introduced me to like almost like the world of art. So at first it was a way that I could really connect with my sister, because we could bond over like the different little characters we would make, and we could make little fun stories with them, and connect through that. And the more I kind of took it upon myself, the more I realized that this is a great way for me to express like how I'm feeling. It's so cool to see the different ways that everyone expresses their feelings and expresses their thoughts. Like, I love it when my friends who don't draw will draw something for me, because it doesn't have to be good. And people who, the more you learn about art, the more you start to put in composition and anatomy and everything that you've learned into your art. But whenever you're just a starting artist, or you just draw something for fun, there's nothing there. So it's so fun to see what they come up with. Really, because of my arts education, I have been allowed to be free. It's a way that you can express yourself without using words, a way to put something on a paper. I'm not the best with words. I love to talk, I love to be open, but sometimes, when I feel something, I just want to scribble it down and show you. I want to be this is how I feel, this is what I'm feeling. I can't tell you how I feel, but this is it, That's one of the main reasons why it's so important to me. A lot of new artists get stressed because they're like, this doesn't look as good as I wanted to, or this doesn't look good. Not all art, there's nothing, what defines an art piece as good? Why can't it just be good to you? I have guilty pleasure pieces that I just love that not everybody else does, and that's the fun part of it. It's something that you can share not only personally with yourself, but with other people, with the more that you learn about it. The connections that I can make with you, if you love something else, say you love sports, you could easily express that with art. Draw a basketball, draw a basketball in your binder. It'll spark a conversation with someone. They'll be like, hey, you like basketball? It doesn't always have to be like these pieces that you create and share with people. It can be little things like doodling a basketball on your paper and having people be like, whoa, I play basketball. Nice to meet you. That's what it is when it comes to drawing. I mean, you can break drawing down to anything. You can break drawing down to anatomy, any shape, anything. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, just draw. This one has, the stars in her eyes, the constellation in her face, in her stars in her hair, the planets on her ears. As I said before, this was inspired by a lot of the women empowerment movements that were going on. And I think this is what's important about this is it's not a portrait of anyone, because I feel like you should be able to put yourself in that place, in that feeling of, I have control of my own world right now, and I should be able to speak and express how I feel, and not be judged for it. This February of this year, my mom passed away from cancer. So I was in like a really rough spot of where I didn't want to, I wanted to express that part of me, but I couldn't, I was just so drained and so worn down by everything that, I don't think I drew for most of the summer. I was like, I've been in this rut for so long, what could make me feel better? And I looked up and I saw my pen on top of my sketch pad, and I was like, yep, I think it's about time. I was like, it's time. It's time for me to start working on this again, and it's time for me to start looking forward to the future that art has presented me with.